Flamecraft is a fantastically charming worker placement, hand management, and set collection game released in 2022 and designed by Manny Vega with art by Sandara Tang. The goal is to visit the various shops in the village, populate them with artisan dragons, and add enhancing enchantments. Gain the greatest reputation as the town fills up, and you will earn the title of, well, the book says Master of Flamecraft, but that seems needlessly gendered. How about High Flamekeeper? Wait a tick. To set up, roll the town mat out in the middle of the table, placing the 6 starter shops face up on any of the starting spaces. Add the matching starter artisan dragons to the first slot of each shop. Sort the rest of the shop cards into 7 piles based on their icons, taking 1 random shop for each of the 6 different goods types and 4 random shops for the non-goods types. Shuffle these together face down to make the shop deck. Shuffle the artisan dragons, fancy dragons, and enchantments decks separately, and place them on the marked spaces in town. Reveal the top 5 cards from the artisan dragons and enchantments decks and place them face up in the park and in the row respectively. Each player chooses an available color and takes the corresponding player token, reputation marker, and player aid card, placing the reputation markers at the start of the reputation track. Deal each player 2 fancy dragons, choosing 1 of those to keep, and 3 artisan dragons. Place the coins in the fountain and all goods tokens are reach of all players. First player is chosen randomly. In Flamecraft, players are flamekeepers, townsfolk able to communicate with the talented and varied dragons who live and work in their delightful and punny town. The game is played over a variable number of player turns, wherein the active player will move to a new shop and then either perform a gather or an enchant there, followed by the next player in clockwise order. If the player chooses to gather, they will collect goods, coins, and/or dragon cards as identified by any existing dragons, enchantments, and the shop itself. Next, they may place an artisan dragon card from their hand at an available and matching space at the shop, gaining any covered rewards. After that, they may choose one of the dragons at the shop to fire up, use its ability, followed, finally, by using the shop's ability if desired. The artisan dragon's abilities to fire up include gaining extra goods, placing additional dragons, drawing additional dragons, swapping dragons, and giving another player a good to gain reputation. Instead of a gather, the player may choose to enchant the shop, which involves them paying goods to add one of the available and matching enchantments to the shop, and then firing up all of the dragons there in any order. If any of these actions result in a shop having all of its spaces filled, then the top card of the shop deck is added face down to an empty shop space in town. This can result in multiple new shops in the same turn. At the end of the player's turn, any new shops are turned face up and can be used in future turns, and any gaps in the park or row are refilled from the artisan dragons and enchantment decks respectively. When either of those decks is emptied, the game end is triggered and all players get 1 final turn. Any leftover coins are worth 1 reputation each, and some fancy dragons add endgame scoring if their goals are met. The player with the highest reputation wins, ties are broken by most artisan dragons in hand, and then by total remaining goods. If still tied, share that victory, and maybe split a sweet treat from the Drake of Cakes. It is impossible to not be charmed by the art presented here. This may not be the crunchiest of Euros, but I find myself drawn to it when I want an enchanting time at the table. The art and theme come together with the main loop of popping down to the shops incredibly well, and I delight in having this in my collection. Who wouldn't love to live in a quaint, I'm guessing seaside, village full of adorable and crafty crafting dragons? A commune of creatives and artists, smiths and workpeople, but with more literal warmth and fewer things made out of hemp. You know, fire hazard. Then again, maybe High Flamekeeper is the right title after all. Not that I know anything about that. I'm always game.